Hello, Reddit. My name is Hannah, and I'm 32 years old. I really need advice. I've done the worst thing you can do to someone you love, and now I don't know how to fix it. My husband, Rick, is 37, and we've been married for 7 years. We both have good jobs and a stable life together, but lately I've been feeling bored, I think. That's no excuse, I know, but I guess that's where it all started. At my job, a law firm, we had a kickoff event, and I sat next to the CEO at a table all evening. Nothing happened then, but we kept in touch afterward, and we started talking more and more. It began innocently, but about 2 months ago, it escalated. We had an affair. At first, it was just at the office, kissing and such. Then it became more intense, and I started looking for opportunities to be alone with him to get more whenever I could. One evening, when I was working late, I let him take me over his desk. It was incredible. Like a drug. I couldn't get enough. It felt like I was becoming a woman for the first time in my life. The problem was that the office wasn't ideal for being intimate, so we had to come up with something else. His wife is a stay-at-home mom, so being at his place was impossible. We decided to use my house instead. Rick works long hours, and I took advantage of that. At first it felt weird, and I didn't want to use our bed. But eventually, the lust took over and all my hard rules disappeared. I was worried Rick would notice something, but he didn't, and that's when I started to relax. For a while, we were at my house almost every lunch break. 5 days a week. Last week, Rick came home earlier than usual and caught us. In our bed, with me on all fours. It was a nightmare. He didn't yell, slam doors, or anything like that, but his expression— I've never seen anyone so devastated. He didn't look at my lover. Not even a glance. He looked straight at me as if I were the only person in the room. Then he walked out and has been staying with a friend ever since. He barely answers my messages and only says he needs time to think. I know I've destroyed everything. I love Rick, I truly do. I have no idea how I let it get this far. What can I do to even begin to repair this? Has anyone been in a similar situation, either on my side or Rick's? I don't want to give up on our marriage. I'm ready to do whatever it takes to get him to forgive me. Update 1. I've tried to reach out to him. Thank you to everyone who took the time to respond. I've read every comment, even the harsh ones. I've tried reaching out to Rick with a long letter where I told him everything. Not just about the affair, but also about why I think it happened. It wasn't boredom. I don't think that was it. My life was perfect. What happened, I believe, was that a man with status, charisma, power, and money showed interest in me, and I fell for it. I didn't want a relationship with him. I just wanted to feel what it's like to be with a man like that. I know several women at the office lust after him, and I think that's what made me curious to try. I admitted this to Rick to be completely honest and take responsibility for it. I apologized and promised to do whatever it takes to try to repair things, including going to therapy alone and with him if he's willing. He responded with a short message. I need more time. I want to respect his needs, but it's so hard to just wait. I really want to talk to him, to hold him. About an hour ago, he asked me if I'd stopped having sex with my lover, and I obviously said yes, but that was a lie, and I feel awful about it. Then he asked if we had used protection, and I said yes. That was also a lie. It feels like I can't stop lying. I realize I have to quit my job because otherwise I won't be able to stay away from that man. He makes my knees weak, and the sex is incredible. If I stay at this job, I won't be able to stop. Update 2. We met to talk. Thank you for all the suggestions. To those who are just here to throw insults at me, please stop. I already know I messed up. There's no point in continuing to point that out. I understand that many of you are upset with me for continuing to have sex with him now that everything is out in the open. I just can't stop myself. It's not that he's much more attractive than my husband or anything like that, but he feels more like a man, both in his personality and down there. He's powerful and confident. I understand this might sound cruel or insensitive, but I want to be honest with you so you can give me real advice. Some PMs I've received from women have been quite salty, but they also understand how overwhelming it can be for a woman to be with a man like him. And some of you pointed out that this means Rick can never trust me again. No, if the roles were reversed and I were in his position, I would absolutely think the same. But I'm trying to do this for myself. I want him back. even if it means I might cheat again someday in the future. But I don't think I will. Rick agreed to meet me for the first time since everything happened. We sat in the kitchen, and he was very serious. He asked a lot of questions about the affair, how long it had been going on, how it started, and if I had ever planned to tell him. I answered honestly to everything, even though it hurt to see his reactions. He asked for details about what we had done, and I really didn't want to answer. I feel like it would do more harm than good. He got very upset when I didn't answer. I think it's less likely he'll forgive me if I tell him. What do you think? Should I be honest and tell him in detail what I've done? How many times, and if it was good? How do I even answer the last question? I know I should be honest, but can I really say it's the best I've ever had? Can I even be honest and still try to save my marriage? He said he feels humiliated and betrayed, not just because I cheated, but because it happened in our home. I understand that, and I apologized again. He said he doesn't know if he can ever trust me again, but he's willing to try therapy. Not because he's sure he wants to stay, but because he needs help processing everything. I'm grateful he's even considering it. I know it will be a long and difficult road, and I'm prepared to take it. Update 3. First therapy session. Thank you for the responses to the questions I asked in the last post, especially about whether I should be completely honest with him about the intimate details. Most of you agreed that I should tell him exactly how it was and let him decide. I've decided to go against your advice on that point, at least partially. I plan to tell him some of what we did, but leave out things I think would hurt him the most. For example, I won't tell him that my boss did things with me that I've refused to do with Rick, or how good it was. I will just say it was okay. We had our first joint therapy session today. It was tough, but also a relief to finally talk to someone who can guide us. The therapist asked us both what we want to achieve. I said I want to rebuild his trust and save our marriage. Rick said he's not sure yet, but wants to understand why I did it and if there's any chance he can forgive me. I explained that I think it happened because someone with very high status showed interest in me, and that all the women at work wanted him. That made me curious, and that's why it happened. He didn't ask too much about details, which was such a relief. I didn't have to answer those kinds of questions in front of the therapist. But one of the details he did ask was how often we had been intimate. I said it was a few times a week when it was at its most intense, mostly at the office. He seemed satisfied with that. He also said he expects me to quit my job, which I said I would do if he wants to try again. The therapist suggested I should do it immediately to show my husband I'm serious. I said I would get the paperwork ready. After the session, Rick said he needs more time to think and that we shouldn't rush things. I feel a bit hopeful but also scared. I know it's up to him now, and all I can do is show through my actions that I'm serious about changing. As for my boss, we're still seeing each other. It's mostly at the office, but we've been at my house once now that Rick has temporarily moved out. I feel terrible afterward every time. I know I shouldn't keep doing this, but I need it. I know I have to quit my job now, but I feel sick at the thought of never having sex this good again. Update 4. A step forward. It's been 2 weeks since we started therapy, and Rick has said he's willing to try. He set clear boundaries, no lies, full transparency, and we must continue therapy for a long time. I'm fully on board with that. I know it will take time, and that we may never return to how things were before. But I'm grateful for this chance. I won't waste it. Thank you for all your support and advice, even the hard-to-hear ones. It's helped me more than you know. I've quit my job and started a new one, in the same field but with different people. I'm still in contact with my former boss, and I let him have me from time to time. I just can't go without it. But now I'm much more careful, and it doesn't happen often, and never in our home. I think I can balance this and still be a good wife to my husband. Update 5. The end of my marriage. Hi again. I wish I could say things got better, but they didn't. Rick has left me, and this time I don't think there's any way back. It happened on Monday. I had just come home from my new job and noticed the house felt empty. When I walked into the kitchen, I saw that my laptop was open on the table. On the screen was a messenger message I had received from my former boss. I recognized it immediately. The text read, "You were wonderfully wild last night." Asterisk. I froze and realized he had seen it. It was the final nail in the coffin. All the lies, the betrayal, and now this. I understand why he couldn't stay any longer. He had packed his things and moved out while I was at work. He left his key and wedding ring on the kitchen table without a word. I tried calling him several times, but he didn't answer. Eventually, he sent a short message. "We're done. Don't try to contact me." Asterisk. Now, I'm just waiting for him to file for divorce. I feel devastated, but I know I've brought this upon myself. I tried to balance two worlds and ended up losing both. I quit my job, went to therapy, and tried to fix my marriage, but I couldn't stay away from my former boss. I couldn't even be honest with Rick about it. Now I'm alone. To everyone who has followed my story, thank you for your advice, even the hard-to-hear ones. I know I've made mistakes I can never undo, and I hope that someday I can learn from this and become a better person. Right now, I only know that I've lost the most important person in my life. I've lost Rick.
If you liked this story, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. It helps a lot, and you won't miss out on any future stories. Take care and live your best life.